The Belgian Malinois is a dog spoken of with reverence and fear. To some, it is the ultimate working animal, but to others, it is a breed that should never be placed in average homes. But here's the one truth most owners refuse to admit. This dog is not what they thought it would be, and that truth is why so many end up broken by the very animal they believed would protect them. People see the Malinois in viral clips, flying through the air and taking down armed suspects. They see its speed, its focus, and its power displayed like a superhero in fur. But those moments are carefully staged. What you don't see is the hours of grueling repetition, the iron discipline, and the handlers who live by structure every second of the day. The Malinois was never bred to be a companion. It was bred for action, for missions, for conflict, and those instincts never shut off inside a home. This is the truth owners bury. They tell friends and family that their Malinois is just high energy, when deep down they know the dog is more than they can control. Because the Malinois doesn't play by family dog rules, it plays by rules of dominance, structure, and survival, and if you can't provide them, it will. Every day is a battle of leadership. Every moment is a test of whether you are strong enough, clear enough, and consistent enough to be obeyed. And the second you fail, the dog knows it. It senses weakness faster than you do and begins to shift into control without hesitation. This is the nightmare owners never confess. They don't admit the holes in the walls, the shredded doors, or the days of chaos when the dog refused to listen. Because saying it out loud feels like admitting defeat. And no one wants to confess that they were not ready for the breed they bragged about owning. The Malinois does not forgive lapses. It doesn't overlook mistakes. It takes your inconsistency as proof that you are not fit to lead. And when that happens, you lose control. The household becomes the dog's domain, and you are simply tolerated inside it. This is why shelters overflow with surrendered Malinois. Families cannot keep up, cannot cope, and cannot face the reality that they made a mistake. But most will never admit the truth. They will use excuses, "We didn't have space," or "We didn't have time," instead of saying the real words, "We weren't strong enough." Every attempt to suppress their drive only exacerbates the challenge, making it clear that a Malinois isn't just a pet. It's a commitment to the extraordinary. Many owners underestimate this reality. The relentless nature of these dogs demands more than most are prepared to give. Understanding this truth is essential for Malinois owners, as embracing their dog's fierce spirit can lead to remarkable partnerships filled with adventure and achievement, turning challenges into triumphs. By recognizing the relentless drive as a strength, relationships can flourish, revealing the profound bond between human and Malinois. The Malinois, loyal and vigilant, deserves committed guardians who understand their needs. Yet too often, they become victims of human neglect and misunderstanding, ending up in shelters. The Malinois carries the weight of human shortcomings. Recognizing the bond between the Malinois and its handler is crucial. These dogs flourish in environments filled with love and respect. It's a harsh reality that the true fault lies not with these noble creatures, but rather with the humans who are unprepared for the commitment they demand. It can overwhelm even the most seasoned owners, leaving them longing for a simpler companion who asks for far less in return. Many find themselves unprepared. The truth is brutal. Those who underestimate its needs often find themselves in over their heads, struggling to build a lasting bond. This is a breed that requires commitment, patience, and an unwavering sense of responsibility. In the end, understanding and respect will be the foundation of any successful partnership. In the hands of a true master, it transcends the ordinary, forging a bond that goes beyond mere functionality, igniting creativity and passion in every endeavor. It dances in harmony, awakening the senses. In this partnership, the potential is limitless, as each motion resonates with purpose, and every action carries the weight of intention. Together, they navigate challenges, unveiling new horizons and possibilities that once seemed unattainable, crafting a symphony of achievement. The whispers spread through the neighborhood like wildfire, illuminating the stark contrast between cherished valor and quiet domestic chaos. Its reputation, built on courage and command, became a double-edged sword. In the tightly knit community, admiration quickly turned to wariness as tales of its military exploits clashed with the mundane realities of suburban life. leaving neighbors to wonder who truly lived behind the heroic facade. They carefully curate their online presence, showcasing a polished image while ignoring the messiness lurking beneath the surface, the hidden struggles that come with ownership and pride. They hide the reality from view. In doing so, they create a distorted narrative where perfection reigns but authenticity is sacrificed. The invisible scars that mar their possessions become unseen burdens, whispering truths of their deeper struggles. It's a complex facade that many are simply too afraid to reveal. Because to admit the truth is to admit they weren't enough. And most would rather hide behind excuses than expose their weakness, creating stories that shield their pride but bury the reality of what happened. The silence is not protection for the dog, it is protection for themselves, a way of hiding from the fact that they were tested and found unworthy. The Malinois doesn't care about excuses, it only cares about leadership, and when you cannot provide it, it takes everything from you without hesitation. This is not defiance, it is instinct, a survival drive that pushes it to seize control wherever weakness appears. And once it takes that control, the balance is broken in ways that are almost impossible to repair. It doesn't adapt to your lifestyle. It forces you to adapt to its intensity, or it exposes you as unfit the moment you hesitate. This dog thrives on movement, discipline, and structure. And when those are missing, it reveals the cracks in your character as clearly as glass breaking under pressure. That exposure is not gentle. It is sharp, unforgiving, and relentless. This is the truth. Owners refuse to speak. The Belgian Malinois is not a family pet. It is a working weapon, and unless you live like a handler, it will destroy you in ways you didn't think possible. It dismantles comfort, it dismantles routine, and it dismantles illusions, leaving only the raw reality of whether you can lead or whether you collapse. So ask yourself the question most people avoid. Are you prepared to sacrifice comfort, time, and ease for the demands of this breed every single day without breaks or shortcuts? Because ownership of a Malinois isn't a hobby, it's a full commitment, a contract you sign with discipline and never-ending vigilance. Or are you hoping that affection will tame what discipline alone can manage? Because affection without control means nothing to this dog, and weakness disguised as love only accelerates the downfall. The Malinois doesn't want comfort, it wants clarity, structure, and a leader who cannot be bent or broken by its endless energy. And once you lose control, the Malinois doesn't give it back. It owns the household until the day you give up, standing over every decision like a ruler who never agreed to share the throne. By the time you realize what has happened, you are no longer the owner. You are simply living in the space it has claimed as its own. That is the truth owners never admit. This breed is not failing them. They are failing the breed because they expected it to bend into their lives instead of reshaping theirs around it. And instead of facing that brutal fact, they blame the dog, passing it on to shelters or trainers as if it were the source of the mistake. The Malinois is extraordinary, but only for the extraordinary few. And that is why most people should never bring one home, because the gap between dream and reality is too wide to bridge. For those few who can rise to meet it, the reward is unmatched loyalty. But for the many who cannot, the result is chaos, heartbreak, and regret.